Welcome to this IP Solutions Tech Talk. My name is Gabriel Paus, and with me I have Jan Berglund, which is our mobile communications expert. This is the first clip of two where we're going to discuss 5G, and in this first clip we're going to talk about LTE Evolution, which is kind of fundamental to understand to further grasp the things that is happening in 5G. So, the basics. Where is LTE? Where does it stand when it comes to subscribers and evolution?
Well, LTE is doing really well. It has seen a phenomenal growth the last few years. I think pretty much everyone has at least one LTE-capable device these days. I pulled some numbers from the GSM Association website before we entered and for recording this little clip. And they claimed that in December 2015, so last year, there were 2G, 3G, 4G total around 7.5 billion connections. And they also talked about 5 billion unique subscribers. I'm not sure how they define that. Out of those 5 billion unique subscribers, 1 billion, according to them, was LTE.
Okay. But it seems like a cut and dry issue for me. Either they are like LTE subscribers or they're not. What is that about?
Yes, I haven't seen any exact definition how they come up with these numbers, to be honest. If you have a device that supports both 2G, 3G and 4G, and you have one subscription, are you a 2G, 3G or 4G subscriber in that case? So I guess that's a little bit of a philosophical question. But there is no question about the fact that LTE is growing stronger and stronger. I mentioned those 5 billion unique subscribers. Half of those actually are still 2G.
Okay.
Yeah, so 2G is alive and kicking as well. But it has seen its peak. Just the last year I read somewhere that for the first time since it was introduced in the early 90s, 2G is actually declining.
Yeah. Are there any definitions and things like that, or new ways of defining LTE?
Oh yes, well you have to have selling points, I guess. For those of you who are not that familiar perhaps with standardization releases, the first standardization release that contained LTE was release 8, which was introduced in, early mid-2009 I think it was, so that's a few years ago. And the last finalized release for LTE is release 13, which was finalized in March this year, 2016. So LTE is continually evolving and will continue to do so for a long time to come, I think. And yes, LTE release 10, as many of you I'm sure know, is referred to as LTE Advanced. So more fancy features and much higher bit rates and things like that. And from release 13 and onwards, according to 3GPP, we should talk instead about LTE Advanced Pro. Marketing term, but yeah, we'll see if it sticks.
So it's just their way of telling us that there's something new going on here. It's not the old...
yes, it's
LTE.
Better than LTE Advanced even. Fantastic.
I see. Where does LTE go from here?
The way I see it, over the last 5-6 years or so, a number of nice, interesting features have been introduced to vastly increase the number of use cases for LTE. So it's not just limited to mobile broadband or VoLTE these days. For example, we have seen deployment of LTE in unlicensed spectrum, so the 5 gigahertz band and potentially also even above, where there is lots of spectrum available. Well, I guess that goes back to mobile broadband connections. Internet of Things, that's a buzzword these days. And release 13 again then saw some quite substantial additions to use LTE as a very efficient network for machine-to-machine communication. So cheap terminals, much better coverage, extremely long battery life, and so on and so forth. Release 14, which is currently ongoing with a target date of finalization date in June next year, 2017, if I remember correct. Also includes vehicle-to-vehicle communication. Release 12, I'm throwing releases here, sorry about that, saw the first version of LTE as a public safety system. So to replace trunked radio, like, well, here in Europe we have Tetra and P40 or whatever they're called.
I've had Rakel in Sweden
Yes,
too.
Rakel, yes,
Yeah.
another one. So more and more use cases for LTE, for sure,
Yeah.
yes.
Thank you for joining us in this Tech Talk and this clip, and make sure to view the next one where we're going to discuss 5G even further and the implications of the things we're talking about here. Thank you.